vacation. Sick in the head, but see the prize, my medication. Live from hell escaping the rise and set the pace in the vibe.
What's going on, everybody? My name is AT from Headcrack Studios, headcrackstudios.com, and this is Kill Sesh, a one-on-one tutorial with yours truly, AT, aka Logic Kill. And today, we are going to keep expanding on EQ. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is like our third video on EQ, right? Or our second. Who knows? Listen, I can't do enough on EQ. And if you guys did click the link and look at the EQ section of the manual, you will see that EQ is a hot topic. Even if you do your Googles or do your Bings, you will learn that EQ is one of the pillars and the fundamentals of mixing, producing, engineering, anythinging. So listen, what I want to go over today, like the title says right here, is subtractive EQ, okay? There's two kinds of EQ that you can do, okay? Not two types of EQ, but two kinds of EQing you can do. You can do subtractive and you can do boosting or additive, right? You might have heard it as boosting or cutting, like I showed you in the last video. And as you can see, this is the same session because I want to drive it home and I want it to look familiar with you guys because you guys are following along and we're growing this session, man. Eventually, we're going to get to mixing this baby. But listen, so here's the same session that I was working on, okay? We're going to jump right in. We already went through the parameters and all the knobs of an EQ, okay? So now we want to get into subtractive EQ. And what that means is we're not going to be adding anything just yet. We're going to be doing this. We're going to be cutting. So let's go ahead and make this our default. And now, here's why subtractive EQ comes in handy, right? So, mixing is all about relationships. Think of it like sports, almost like matchups, right? So we got kick 1, kick 2, and 808, right? Bass. If we play this. All right, let's see what's going on. Okay. You know what? Let's hit preferences. This is my bad. Nice little flashback. Nice little callback to the beginning of setting up the session. There you go. My settings were all screwed up. So here we go. Sorry about that, guys. So, 2, you know what it is coming. So this is a place I really like to start. And like I said, we're not going to jump right into completely mixing, but this is a place I like to start, right? I like to have the kicks, the 808, and the vocals playing. So we know from the last tutorial, that the vocals, we can hear them just fine. So that means the levels of the beat are fine. So let's get this away. And you typically don't want to mix completely in solo, but this will help you train your ears. So what we want to see, right? We can just see it. The kicks are lining up with the 808, but let's find a spot. Actually, everything is pretty decent on this. So the 808. So little sections here, right? So this takes time, right? And I'll show you a better example. And I know this is a hot topic, and trust me, I'll go over it, how to mix 808s and kicks together. But just to make the kick pop out a little more, we could go ahead and double click that track, go ahead and get the trusty EQ. And let's go ahead. I already know where 808s live, but just for ear sakes, right? Training your ear. Let's go ahead. Now we got the 808, we got the EQ on the 808 really quick, right? Remember the spectrum analyzer I told you about? We're going to use it. All right. So we know this 808 is living low, right? Really low. Meat and potatoes is like 10, 20. So like around 20-ish, 20 hertz, right? So we know for this kick, let's get this away. We can live without 20 hertz. So we can mess around and even turn it off. Turn this bad boy on. 20 hertz, right? And this one, yeah, this is 75, so we don't want that one. So 20 hertz, all right? Just even doing that will bring the kick out even more against the 808. Without. I can tell the difference because I've been doing this a while, and maybe you guys can too. If anything, turn it up in your headphones. I'm not gonna kill you, don't worry. But things like that, right? And so a better example, not a better example, but a more easier example for me to show you guys would be something along the lines like this, right? So you got your lead vocal. Let's drag this bad boy up. Let's go ahead and find the main sample of the song, the meat and potatoes. So we got hats, we got synth. So I already know this is my meat, right? Main sample, because we made it pink. Let's go ahead and drag this bad boy up. So now, okay. And it's not really doing too much. So, as far as being in the way of our vocal, yup, mic check. 1, 2. It is coming through. Oh, but these are. See? Perfect example. So now. Yup, mic check. 1, 2. You know what it is coming through. You know what it is. All right, so perfect. So now we know, right, that these horns are existing in the same space as my my vocal, right? So before I do anything, this is like literally what I tell my understudies and all my guys at the studio. Think of EQing as a seesaw and a puzzle, right? I know that's weird to say and weird to think of, but like you saw, when I cut the bass, cut some of that 20 hertz out of the kick, all of a sudden, all the other frequencies kind of were more prominent, right? Same thing. So if I go ahead and double click this with the lead, and I go ahead and I take some stuff out, right? It'll make everything else pop. So if I go drastically, you know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh giving you what you need to do. See how you hear the mids way more? So that's drastic. But here's another thing that we want to do, right? So people have a tendency to boost first, right? You hear your favorite artists on the radio, you hear them in a music video, you hear how polished they sound. You know, young engineers and young producers, trust me, I'm guilty of this. We tend to just push high end, right? If the vocals sound crisp, we just think that the high end is boosted, when really it's a lot of subtractive EQing that's going on in the background. So like I said, these horns are in our way, right? And maybe we want them loud like that. You know what it is coming through. So let's go ahead and get to these horns. We're not even going to touch the vocals, yep. You know what it is coming through. So I'm already hearing some of this, right? This low frequency stuff. You know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh, like I said, you can go ahead and sweep it really quick and see what's going on. You know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh giving you what you need. You know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh so right
giving.
There, you hear that competing with my voice, that frequency, that 414. That's what we're trying to look for. The frequencies that are in my way.
You know what it is coming through.
Nasty, right? So we go ahead and turn this bad boy down and just.
You know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh giving you what you need to.
And now I know, right? So this is just a frequency I had to scan to find, because I heard it, but I wanted to pinpoint it. But I know because of the frequency response and how the horns sound, and the reason why I'm getting drowned out is because it's living in my vocal range. And the vocal range is typically 1K to like 5, 6K, right? The 6 and 5K are the sibilants, right? Your S's, 1 to 3, 1 to 4. That's typically your vocal range. That's where our main meat and potatoes of our voice lives, right? So I already know these horns are in the way because we heard it. So let's go ahead and get around that section and see what we find. So I want to heighten the Q, and we're just going to see what we find, right?
You know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh giving you what you need to. You know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh giving you. You know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh giving. You know what it is coming through.
So right around that area, right? So we go ahead. I kind of want this to be bigger. Now, you guys are going to experience, right? And this comes with practice. This comes with, I'm just going to say a lot of practice and experience. But, the wider, the more drastic, the more frequencies it's going to affect. It's going to go from 1K to almost 3, right? Or 4, instead of just only affecting the 1.93. So we're just going to trial and error it, see what happens.
You know what it is coming through, kill. You know what it is coming through, kill session.
Now that sounds good to my ears. I don't know why this thing keeps bleeping on me. It's okay. So now,
you know what it is coming through, kill sesh, giving you.
And now, just from experience, guys, I know that I don't really need too much bass because this isn't really a bassy instrument. So honestly, I can just cut some of this out.
You know what it is coming through, kill sesh, giving you.
Now that might not matter now, but when you're listening in the grand scheme of things and you got the 808 and you got the kick going crazy and they're boosted, you don't really want low end where you don't need it because that's just going to kill your headroom in the end. So now if we listen back, let's go ahead, unsolo things.
Yup, mic check. 1, 2, you know what it is coming through, kill sesh. 1, 2, you know what it is coming through.
Turn it off.
1, 2, you know what it is coming through. 1, 2, you know what it is coming through.
And mind you, there's other horns, but we pinpointed the ones that were messing with me, getting in the way of my vocals the most. So that's what I like to call the puzzle effect, right? We're trying to piece this puzzle together, and sometimes we get a few of the same pieces in different frequencies, if it makes sense. You know what I mean? In different channels. So these horns, we're trying to play the same puzzle piece as my vocals, right? So we got to decide what's more important. Is that frequency range right here, this frequency range of 1.93, let's just call it 2K, is that more important for the horns or is that more important for my vocal, right? And given that it's a hip hop track, like I said before, hip hop, pop, some R&B, is really vocal driven. So we do want that vocal to pop, right? So that's why we decided to cut what we cut. And now the vocal just sticks out.
1, 2, you know what it is coming through, kill sesh, giving you what you need to do. 1, 2.
And now we got these, see? And now automatically from hearing those, I'm like, okay, those aren't really interfering with my vocals too much. They're pretty thin. But we could go ahead and do some subtractive EQ.
1, 2, you know what it is.
And you see where it's living. But see where it's living? Right around that 2K. So I already know we can just cut that down. And you'll start learning your voice and you'll start learning the voices of your clients or whoever you're working with, or even the instrument. Say you want a certain instrument to be the lead. You'll start hearing what frequency range that particular instrument or vocal is living, and you just know to cut it at that point. So
1, 2, you know what it is coming through, kill sesh, giving you punching in.
All right, I don't know why I did that. Let's just undo. Let's just get rid of this scratch pad. Sorry about that. And we are gonna cut. We're gonna keep this cut. And what we're gonna do, go ahead and just cut some of this.
You know what you need to do, and then I keep going.
Now, it's already sounding a little more cleaner.
You know what you need to do, and then I keep going. I don't even know right now. I'ma keep
yeah, whatever I was saying. So yeah, that right there is an easy way. Not easy because it does take time to start recognizing the frequency ranges, not ranges, frequency ranges. And this is particularly important, like I said, when you start doing the kick, 808, and bass response. Same kind of thing though. The 808 is living in its own space, and sometimes some of the frequencies from the kick want to live in that 808 space, and that's when you need to go ahead and decide, do I want it in the kick or do I want it in the 808? Which is why we took that 20 hertz out of the kick, right? And in doing so, it's going to boost. Our ears are going to hear these more because we took this out, And to get into the vocals really quick, because I know this is what we're doing subtractive. So now that we got the vocals sitting, right, we got the kick cooperating with the 808. So now,
Yup, mic check. 1, 2.
so you can hear this one, right? That's a good word to focus on, one. Because you hear when I say one, it's nasally and it kind of gets that bass response. That's where we know what we're getting this, what's called muddiness, right?
1, 2. You know what it. 1, 2.
So, I like to keep everything on when I'm mixing vocals. So let's see.
1, 2.
So this is what I do. I honestly see what I don't need. Now, for this kind of record, you hear how big it is, right? If this was more of a poetic kind of spoken word record, almost like a Nas record, where there's not a lot going on as far as drums and strings and horns, then yeah, you can leave more of this in. I tend to not cut so much. But for this type of record, I want everything to cooperate. So I'm just gonna see how far I can go without it sounding weird.
1, 2. You know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh giving you what you need to do.
There you go. So automatically, you heard it sound more clear.
1, 2. You know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh giving you what you need to.
And all I did was cut. So here's what I'm telling you guys. Cutting goes a long way. Subtractive EQ goes a long way. Because this, you know, I always used to think you had to boost. Trust me, this is the move. So now, what I'm also hearing is
1, 2. You know what it is coming through.
I'm hearing some nasally stuff. And this is just from experience, from working with myself, obviously, working on different microphones and knowing, you know, frequencies. But I hear this tone, and it's always around like 3 to 5.
1, 2. You know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh giving you what you need.
And like I said in the last tutorial, guys, this is that range. This is that range where from like 350 to 5, that's your muddiness. So
1, 2, you know what it is coming through. Kill
so we
Sesh.
throw it in the mix.
1, 2, you know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh giving you what you need to do. And then 1, 2, you know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh giving you.
And what you want to do is just play with it. You want to cut just enough where you notice the difference, but you don't notice the difference. You know what I mean? A lot of this is finesse. A lot of it is cutting just enough for you to cut through, but not doing it enough where you affect the whole vocal. Like, you know, like I did in the last video where you make an effect for an obvious reason. But this, we don't want to do that. What we want to do here is make the vocal clean, but we don't want to, you know, we don't want to make it sound distorted.
1, 2, you know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh giving you what you need to do. 1, 2, you know what it is coming through.
Sounding pretty clean, honestly. Now, I think what I want to do, just find out where I got some nasals going on. I got some nasals.
1, 2, you know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh giving you.
And like I said, this comes with experience. So what you can do is just sweep.
1, 2, you know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh giving you what you need to do.
Now that's a tricky frequency, right? Because 2K is tricky, especially with my voice and a lot of singer female voices and some, you know, guys with my kind of voice response. 2K tends to resonate. So you can either, and like, you just be careful with sweeping, you know, going up and sweeping, because you can trick yourself into hearing something that really isn't a problem. So what I like to do, since I heard it, let's go down.
1, 2, you know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh giving you what you need.
And I still don't like it, so I'm cutting it. There you go.
1, 2, you know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh.
And I did hear the, let me get rid of that. My space bar is super close to V, and V makes a scratch pad, which I don't like. And I did hear that 1K. So let's go to that 1K and bring that sucker down.
Giving you what you need to do.
All right, so now let's play. And we can just go ahead and turn it off and on. Bypass it. Are we on this? Yeah, let's go.
Yup, mic check. 1, 2, you know what it is coming through.
Focus on the 1, 2, you know what it is.
Yup, mic check. 1, 2, you know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh giving you what you need to do. Yup.
All right, so off.
Yup, mic check. 1, 2, you know what it is coming through.
On.
Yup, mic check. 1, 2, you know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh giving you.
What you can even do is just give yourself a little more gain, because we did take some, you know, because this does take volume down, it takes gain down, because you're actually turning down frequencies.
Yup, mic check. 1, 2. You know what it is coming through. Kill Sesh giving you what you need to do.
So yeah, even when it's not, it's not louder, you can even do auto. I never done it. But
Yup, mic.
nah, see, that's why I don't do it. It makes it too loud. Yeah, so you kind of just want to turn it up, just enough where you match where it was before you started cutting. And like, I'm pretty sure you guys heard the difference in clarity, right? And I didn't boost anything yet. All I did was subtract. And I'm telling you, the more and more I used to learn about EQ, guys, the more and more experienced engineers I talk to, this comes up more times than not. Less is more, right? Same thing I did with the vocals and these instruments is the same thing you can do with kicks and 808s. The reason why I didn't get into it is because I want to get into it further when we actually go in and try to mix this song. But same thing, guys. You saw what I did on the kick to make it stand out from the 808, right? Spectrum analyzing is good if when you need to train your ear and you just want to see where the frequencies are living. But really train your ear. Start listening to what the 808 wants to do. Right? What characteristics does it have? What does my vocal want to do? What do these horns want to do? What does this piano want to do? Right? What puzzle piece does it really want to fill? And I know this sounds like some theory and some philosophy, but trust me, it works. It just takes a lot of time and a lot of practice. But go ahead and start sweeping your EQs, finding them spots where you don't like, right? And just make sure you turn that sweep a little down, right? Just open you up. Come on. I know this is longer, guys. My bad. But this is a big touchy subject, right? Touchy subject. Nah, this is a touchy subject. So, make sure, guys, if you're going to do the sweep, you can sweep high if you want. Just don't get deceived. Come down. Remember what I did with this one where I came back down and I'm like, oh, I still don't like it. Yeah. So now let's go. That's a good practice. I still do it. Honestly, when I can't really pinpoint it, I still sweep. But I just know that I don't want to trick my ears because the sweep is so loud that it just sounds ugly. The more you boost any frequency, it's going to sound ugly. So that's it, guys. Subtractive EQ in a nutshell. Like I said, I know this is a hard topic to grasp, especially in 20 minutes. So please, comments, concerns, questions, please hit me up. And if you did like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe so we can keep this train moving, and hit that bell so you know when I drop more tutorials like this. I'm going to keep going, baby, because next one I'm going to talk about boosting, right? And we're going to keep going on this same session. So I'm going to show you how I get things to sound crisp after I cut. All right, we're going to get moving, and then we're going to talk about compression. So this train is moving, baby. So subscribe, like, do all that goodness so we can keep going. All right, this is AT. This was Kill Sesh, and we out of here. Happy mixing.